Howdy, friendos. Krazy Jason here with Kakalaki Movies, and this week on The Rough Cuts, I'm reviewing Stuck. But before I get to that review, I want to address something that was brought to my attention by several people on here on The Rough Cuts. It seems to be that I just review films that I love. I consider myself a movie enthusiast. I'm more of the kind of guy, the movies that I love, the great movies that I know about, I want to share them. I want to get people enthused about them. I want people to watch them and let me know what they think. That being said, I do understand that you do need to be forewarned about the stinkers. So I'm going to do that. Yeah, as you know, last week I reviewed the original Village of the Damned. And this week, I know I said I was going to review Children of the Damned, but I'm not. In lieu of that, I am reviewing Stuck. Anyway, a few words I want to say about John Carpenter's 1995 remake of Village of the Damned. It sucks dead donkey balls. Yeah, this, I hate to say that about John Carpenter, because he's really one of my favorite directors, and, I would hate for him to ever, hear me say that, because, everybody has feelings, right? But I do have a question. I have to ask a question. That question is, what happened to the man... Kitty, for God's sakes, will you cut me some slack, please? Please cut me some slack. I'm doing a review for The Rough Cuts here. These people are discerning film lovers. They don't expect this pablum. Please. Where is the man who directed The Thing? The Thing! And Halloween. But The Thing, man! Come on, what an accomplished piece of work that was. It's kind of like what happened to the man who directed Jack. You know what I'm saying? Godfather 2, Apocalypse Now, Jack. Halloween, Fog, The Thing, Village of the Damned. I don't know, because Village of the Damned really... It just has the air of a made-for-TV movie about it. I was expecting at least some good cheese, because I love me some good cheese. But you didn't even get that. I didn't know what character to follow, and poor Christopher Reeve, man. I don't know. So there you go. There's my bashing of a movie. It's terrible. Stay away from it. It's not even good cheese. It's such a simple story. I really don't understand how they fucked it up, but they did. Now on to the actual review of the film I want to review. Stuck. So basically, I picked this up last week when we did our Kakalaki Movie Madness. If you haven't seen last week's episode, be sure I'll put a direct link, boop, right there, and you can go check that out and see that snow, ice, blizzard does not stop us, never stops the madness. Stuck. Great film. Gem. This is what I call a gem. The premise got me hooked because it sounded like good cheese. I like a good thriller, psychological drama, what have you. And supposedly this had some dark humor. I didn't know what to think. Anyway, I popped it in. It stars Mena Suvari and Stephen Ray. And basically, she plays She plays a nurse's assistant and in a retirement home. And basically her boss comes in and informs her that she's about to get a promotion. She's this very caring person who goes above and beyond. Like, she has this elderly man at the beginning of the film, and he's shat himself. In a very disgusting scene, she has him in the shower, cleaning him off, putting him into bed, and her boss comes in and says, you really don't have to do that or whatever. I'm going to have him move to blah, blah, blah. She's like, no, it's okay. I'll take care of him. The director goes to great lengths to set up Mena Suvari's character as this kind of a really caring individual who likes to help people. So it was great the way he sets up these characters. And then you have, on the other side, you have Stephen Ray's character. And you meet his character as he's being kicked out of his apartment onto the street. He has no job. He goes to the unemployment agency, waits there all day, and then they tell him, blah, 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 we can't help you. He ends up out on the street. I mean, just one thing after the other. Anyway, the Mena Suvari character goes out partying that night. And her boyfriend is a drug dealer, and they're taking drugs. And I'm like, Then she, after the party, she's driving down the road, very, drunk, on drugs. And she hits the guy, Stephen Ray. And his body goes through the windshield. And she's just driving down the road with his body just sticking up out of the windshield. It's utterly preposterous. And it's horrible, but it's funny at the same time. It is. I mean, she's the look of shock on her face. And the look of, oh shit, I've just fucked up my life. By the way, she does an excellent job in this film, and so does Stephen Ray. Just both great actors. So, she thinks about taking him to the hospital. But instead, she takes him to her home, parks in the garage, and leaves him stuck through the window in her car. And goes inside, calls her thug boyfriend, who's a drug dealer, comes over, tells him, he's like, but she doesn't tell him that the dude is still stuck in her car in the garage. She tells him that she hit a homeless guy and just left him hit and run. And he's like, were there any witnesses? And she said no. He's like, well, you got nothing to worry about, baby. So anyway, the next morning, she gets up, she's trying to figure out what to do. She picks up the phone, almost dials 911, doesn't. Instead, she calls a cab to take her to work. Leaves the guy in the window still. Goes to work. She's late for work. Her boss is angry. It looks like she's going to lose her promotion. And then she remembers that she left her cell phone in the car. And yes, cut back to Stephen Ray stuck through the windshield. He's calling 911 on the cell phone, asking for help. So, she's just losing this promotion. Not only that, she's losing her job. Things are just getting worse for her. And the more things get worse for her, the angrier she is at the Stephen Ray character. Because this guy, she doesn't look at him as a human being. She looks at him as a nuisance. She looks at him as something that came into her life and messed up her life. She had a great life going, and this thing came in and messed it up. She doesn't even regard him as a human being. At one point, she's in the car, rummaging around trying to get her cell phone, and he makes some noise, and she's like, go to sleep. She just wants him to go away. Just the situation just to go away, and it's mind-boggling. This girl, you want to understand why. Her own self-interest override her moral values. And it's funny because the more fucked up her situation becomes, not only is she not going to get a raise, but, she's going to lose her job, she gets more and more insistent on getting rid of Stephen Ray. So she brings in her boyfriend, because he was talking big about, being a thug and taking care of situations. Bottom line, great film. Jim, seek it out. When I picked it up, I thought this is just going to be good cheese. It's going to be just a curious little psychological thriller. And about halfway through watching it, I realized that there was something else going on. There was a little, and so I was like, who directed this film? And I paused it and picked this up and saw that it was Stuart Gordon, he of Reanimator and From Beyond and Space Truckers. Hey, I like Space Truckers. Well, maybe not. Yeah? No? Maybe. Seek it out. It may be on Netflix. I haven't checked. It might be on Instant Watch even. I don't know. But you should definitely, any way you can get a hold of it, check it out. So that's it for this week. I'm Krazy Jason with Kakalaki Movie Madness. And I'll see you next week on The Rough Cuts, baby.